The next stop on our summer road trip is the small fishing town of Noyo, where they have a big problem with men in rubber fish suits running amok and raping their women. We watched Humanoids from the Deep. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Welcome back, Moon Goons. We are back from we had took a little 1 week hiatus due to some unforeseen circumstances, but we are back. Our road trip is in full force. This week we are stopping at the little town of Noyo. And I should introduce the show first. This is Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, my co-host, my good bed, my drinking buddy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Aaron Southwest.
See what happens when we take a week off. We get a little off, a little sloppy, a little off our game. Yeah, so I've been house shopping with my wife, so I really couldn't tear away. But we put an offer in. We got a house. It's been accepted. Woohoo!
And there's some other stuff going on too, but that's family, personal stuff. So anyway,
that's his stuff, not mine.
We watched Humanoids from the Deep,
AKA Monster.
Yeah, which is where like the Blu-ray box, everything else is Humanoids from the Deep everywhere. But then when you put it in and you play it, it's the title. It's called itself Monster in tiny little parentheses that you could barely read.
Teeny tiny.
I mean, you take a microscope or
magnifying glass. You need some of that Sherlock Holmes shit.
Yeah,
to see that.
Humanoids from the Deep.
Yeah,
it's like super fine print, or like some kind of legal contract.
It's ridiculously small, like retardedly small.
It was released in May of 1980. It's an 80-minute movie. It was written by Frank Arnold and Martin B. Cohan, directed by Barbara Peters and Jimmy T. Murakami. And you can find it only on disc right now. It is not streaming anywhere. I actually had to go buy a physical copy of this off of Amazon so we could do this movie.
It is on YouTube.
Is it on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. Now, it's one of those broken up videos. So they show it's like 8 videos in 10-minute clips.
Oh.
But it's out of order.
It's out of order,
yeah,
of course.
It's,
well, all right. I guess it's there. I didn't even know that, but so anyway.
So there you go, guys. If you really want to try and fucking put it together, you can do it for free.
The cast is really nobody I've ever really heard of at the time, because I mean, they were all like 60s, 70s TV and movie character actors. Yeah. I'm sure some people have heard of them, or some diehards. Let's see. Hank Slater, he's played by Vic Morrow, who only know it for him is, I mean, he had a lot of credits, but he died like 2 years after making this movie, and he's not that old in this movie, so something, I don't know what it was, but it's untimely. Then Johnny Eagle. Johnny Eagle is played by Anthony Pena. He's got 26 credits. He did 164 episodes of The Young and the Restless in like the 70s, 80s, so he's also in Porky's 2.
Sweet.
And one of my favorite 80s movies of all time, The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Fucking love Running Man.
That movie is amazing.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's one of so he was in that apparently. And then the only other person I'm going to mention is an actor named Mike Michaels, who you don't even see him in this movie. He's credited as the radio announcer. I'm sorry, Greg Travis plays Mike Michaels, the radio announcer.
Mike Michaels. And
he's got probably the best resume of everybody here, but you never see the guy. He's got 79 credits, including Starship Troopers, Showgirls, Watchmen, where he played Andy Warhol in the Watchmen movie.
Oh, okay.
Halloween 2, the remake, Mother's Day Massacre, and Night of the Living Dead 3D.
So wait a minute. So this is not the same guy who was the radio DJ for K-Fish.
No, it's not the DJ guy.
KFSH.
It's like somebody who's just like a radio announcer you hear in the background somewhere.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's the DJ.
Or disc jockey.
Disc jockey, yeah. DJ. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so let's before we actually start with the movie proper, I do want to just throw this out there that this movie needs to be acknowledged for its constant and comically bad continuity errors that are just plague this movie from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's like nonstop.
It's hard to kind of keep up with because
yeah,
it's
I mean,
like...
some I'll touch on here and there, but I mean, just keep in mind, it's almost every scene or every few scenes, there's a major continuity error in this movie somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So with that, the movie, we open on the small, peaceful coastal town with a montage of like dock workers and fishermen and ship welders just going about their everyday
Scurvy
business.
sea dogs collecting crab shells.
Exactly. And
drinking Budweisers and smoking corn cob pipes. And I don't know why they're pirates.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, I don't know. Coastal town.
Coastal. And we're also found like in between shots of the montage, we get this shot of like this brown Jeep driving through town. We're following this Jeep until it pulls up at the Noyo General Store, and Noyo is the name of the town, which it's just a weird name of the town. I don't know exactly where it's supposed to be. If it's somewhere in like Massachusetts
or the Pacific Northwest,
or along like Washington, Oregon, or like Georgia. We have no idea where this is.
Except I love Noyo. I just want to say things like Noyo Place.
Yeah, Noyo.
Noyo Place, motherfucker.
Sounds so gay. It's like something that should be in the Urban Dictionary or something.
Noyo.
Like that. Noyo, or like YOLO or something. So the Jeep pulls up, and they get his father and his adult son get out and head to the docks. Now, I'm going to clarify this because, like I said, I always take my notes as I'm watching the movie, and it wasn't until like near the end of the fucking movie that I realized, okay, this is not this guy's adult son, it's his brother.
Right.
Which is way threw me for a loop. I was like, what?
Halfway watching, dude, that guy, the brother, looks a lot like Mark Hamill too.
He kind of does.
He looks
like a young, like Star
I kind of had to go, wait, whoa, is that fucking Luke Skywalker in this little film? What is going? No, okay, woo. I had to look on the box. I was like that concerned.
So yeah, I blew my mind that they're actually supposed to be brothers, but anyway, they're shooting the breeze with some other townsfolk and dock workers. And the Jim is the main character. Jim's the as I call it, the father, and Tommy is his brother, who I thought was son.
His brother.
And for Jim, who is supposed to be the main character, I don't know how to describe this guy. He is so, I don't know how to describe how he looks. Like it's just a weird.
He's older. He's like in his late 40s, early 50s. Yeah. He looks like he's been a shit kicker for a while, but he's kind of that.
He's definitely a blue collar fisherman boat guy. But I mean, I don't know. If you watch, and it's hard to describe when you see this guy in the movie. He's just like, what? Like that's your hero. Like that's the hero. It's like totally not what you would expect.
He's a little Eagle Scoutish, you know.
And we also meet Hank and Johnny Eagle.
No, he's got here. I can't even do a bird noise.
Well, I wish I had a sound button.
I am a human, so I can't do that.
Who are also fishermen. And we know right away that there's some tension between Hank and Johnny Eagle over like fishing methods and their belief or signing with this new corporation that's coming in to build a factory.
Hank is Vic Morrow. He's
that's Hank Morrow. And Hank's all for it, and Johnny Eagle, who is like is an Indian, Native American, he's like all like no, must preserve land,
must do proper way.
Yeah, lucky he doesn't talk like that.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, and I'm being really racist right there. But he wants to stick to the traditional ways of fishing, which
he's all about Mother Nature and that.
Fucking hippie.
You know, all the boats head out for the morning to start doing their fishing runs, and one of the boats thinks that they like the one that Hank's on. They think they've made like this super catch. Like we have caught the big payday, and we see underwater that it's not a fish that they've caught, but some large unknown creature. All we see is like this green webbed hand. Like,
right.
So, and so they start wrenching up the nets on the ship. But it runs out of gas for some stupid reason. Like, what?
Like, horrible timing.
Yeah. Like,
it's like, here we go. Oh,
I think that's
what
you would check, like your pre-launch check, like your pre-flight check when you launch your boat. Okay, do we have gas? Check. Do we have...
Right.
Is everything working? Check.
Are we ready to go, boys?
And then, of course, the ship's engine also seems to run out of oil at the same time. So they run out of gas and oil on this. And the captain is like...
There's a lot of fuckery going about
Yeah,
here.
and the captain is like just throwing a fit over everything not working.
As he should.
And meanwhile, the creature in the net continues to struggle to get free. And this causes the pulleys on the mast to begin to start bending and creaking and and cracking. And the captain yells out to his son, which is working on this boat for some ridiculous reason. He was like maybe 12, I don't know. To stop filling up the wrench with gas and come give them a hand with the nets. So, of course, the boy drops the gas can, which lands upside down, spilling gas all over the boat. Doop. And all over the deck. And after some more struggle with the net, the masts and ropes break. The son is tossed into the water, and he's pulled under before the captain or father can pull him out. We just see blood just fill the water. So this kid's dead. Like, this, which I'm like, oh.
This movie starts off fucking...
We start with a child murder. Like,
Bam!
okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm on board. I'm on board.
Marshall does not like kids, by the way.
Normally I will respect any movie that has the balls to be a little more realistic, because in all these horror movies, kids would die. Like, zombie apocalypse is never one show. Like, let's be honest, kids would be gone. And so the first kill in this movie is a kid getting...
My thought is you'd use him as bait. You'd be like, okay, miss.
You're useless. You can't pull your weight. Get out of here.
I don't have to be faster than the zombie. I just have to be faster than this kid I threw down on the ground.
So the blood fills the water, and then just for no real reason whatsoever, the boat just fucking explodes. Ba-boosh! I mean, you don't see like a spark ignite the gas. You don't see anything. It just explodes. And it's a huge, massive explosion.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the explosions later, because Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, this thing would be something like you would see from like space. It's almost, I mean, it's huge. We fade to black.
That's how the movie starts.
That's the opening of the movie.
Child murder and boat explosions.
So
did it do it from like different angles? It's like
it did like
badoosh.
Yeah, it did like 3 or 4 like angles in succession. So after we fade back in, we're taken to Jim's house, where Jim's talking to the sheriff about the explosion, and the dog runs out. You see like his dog run out. It's like, you don't think it matters, but fucking whatever. So we start following the dog now as it sniffs around the outside of the house, and it leads off into the wood. The dog
bad dog.
Yeah,
it's like not paying attention to where it's going or sticking around its master.
So the dog spots something and it starts barking and growling at it. We don't really see, and we see a very quick shot of this large creature. The dog attacks, but it's just killed by this monster immediately. Dog's dead. The next morning, Jim's wife calls Jim outside to have a look around her, because she's like, "Hey, we can't find a dog. Let's go look for him together." So eventually they find a gooey substance covering their trash cans. And this looks like, I don't know, this looks like kind of water, like melted like Vaseline or petroleum jelly or something like that.
On seaweed. With like mixed with seaweed. Like it looks like a great facial mask or something. Or you go to a nice spa and get this seaweed jelly wrap. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You into this, Marshall?
I'm so into this.
Okay.
It's like, oh. So the gooey shit trail basically leads them to,
down to the beach.
Yeah, they follow it anyway.
Jim can whistle like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a hell of a whistler.
I can't do it, but I'm really impressed. He doesn't even put his fingers in his mouth or anything. He just does these incredibly high-pitched whistles. Kudos, Jim.
Kudos
to your whistling ability.
We'll find out later in the movie. We'll get to it, but apparently Jim is fucking awesome. So we cut back.
I don't know. I was pretty much in when he was whistling. I was like, okay, that guy's pretty fucking.
That's all.
Something about this guy.
If he's a whistler, you're in.
Something about this guy.
He's seen some shit. So we cut back to town where a group of 5 men unload a pickup truck loaded with cases and cases of Olympia beer.
And I love it. They're all just drinking beer, throwing it down. Like, they're all bullshitting, laughing, having fun, unpacking. Just.
I mean, there's at least 30 cases of beer.
It's
easily
ridiculous. Yeah.
Now, I do remember Olympia beer, and I remember in my mind it was pretty fucking shitty.
It's the water.
Remember?
It's the water.
It's the water.
That's what it says. It says Olympia beer. It's the water.
I actually remember this was one of our go-to beers for when we had bad beer parties in college. And I was maybe one of Do they even still make Olympia?
Oh, yeah.
Do they still make it?
Yeah, and actually, this might help us with the location, and we probably just could have looked it up, but fuck it, let's not do that. Let's play the beer game. It is from Washington.
Okay. Well, maybe then that's where they're at, because that would be my local beer. Yeah. So I had some good old flashbacks of Olympia beer. So we go back to Jim and his wife. They're walking along the coast now, calling out for the dog. And they find the bloody remains of the dog lying in a pile of seaweed on the beach.
And that weird Vaseline stuff that we were talking about.
And the dead dog is incredibly fucking fake looking. It's an awful effect. I mean, it looks like it was made from, like, cheap shag carpet. And the seaweed looks like it's yarn. Like, just wet yarn. It's awful.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. But the dog does look pretty eviscerated. Like, it looks pretty bloody and fucked up.
Yeah, totally. So we go back to the Olympia gang.
And they're laughing, jaw-jacking, playing grab-ass. They're having a great time.
And they come across 2 more dead dogs.
And it just all of a sudden they go silent. And they see the dead dogs.
But these dead dogs actually look so much better than the other. They actually look almost like real dogs. Just had told like, all right, lay down, play dead.
Play dead while we put this
gunk on you.
While we hang your guts out.
Yeah. And they mentioned that it's funny how the only dog left alive is the Indian's dog, so Johnny Eagles. And which we see that dog in the background barking. He's occupied with something, you can see. And so apparently now this whole town is against Johnny Eagle. Like the whole Olympia gang, Hank and his cronies are against Johnny Eagle. I guess he's like the pariah.
We got a problem.
Yeah. And Hank, Hank's the main Olympia beer drinking guy.
The Olympia crew.
Yeah, the Olympia
brew
crew. The brew crew. Yeah, exactly like you said, Hank. Like, we have a problem, boys. And it's now night all of a sudden. It just switches to night. And we're taken to this house where a woman in lingerie is seen primping herself in like a bathroom. And she hears a noise. So
someone's creeping on the outside.
Yeah, so of course she goes to go check it out. And she wanders around the house, jumping at every little thing she bumps into. The sofa, the end table, the wall. I mean, everything she touches makes her jump and scream. Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
You know what's funny? My wife was watching this. She goes, yeah, that's me when you're not home at night. If I hear something, I freak out. I'm like, really? Jesus.
Wow. Oh, man.
Someone's paranoid.
That's sad, Mel. That's so sad.
I know.
Anyway, so the phone rings. Of course, she jumps at that, too. And it's this character named Linda who we find out is supposed to come over and do something. But after the phone call, she picks up this large 2-pronged like fork. It's like you see like barbecue. And
it's a barbecue fork.
Yeah. And she creeps to the front door, and suddenly this man leaps out from behind her, but it's just her boo.
Her boo.
Her boo.
Her bae.
Her bae. Nothing fucking happens. Big waste of time.
Yeah. Jump scares, but not really.
So now we're back to Jim and his wife, Carol, who arrive at the Noyo 75th Annual Salmon Festival, which is like the big deal here. So,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. And we start seeing all the other characters we've met so far. Like, they're kind of pulling in one by one.
It's funny before they go into the salmon festival, the guy who just jump scared the girl in the lingerie, they're with Jim and his wife. And he goes, wait, stop. He pulls her back, and he pulls out this comically huge flask. This flask was huge. Gigantic, and they start polishing it off. And after seeing what's going on inside the Salmon Festival, I would do the same thing.
I totally agree.
I would have to be pretty fucking drunk and stewed to have a good time there.
Because apparently we go from, Hank's there, he's been drinking, and we go from like it's 1980s, or it's 79, whatever, when this was filmed. Sure. And so we go from 79, 80, all the way back to basically what feels like the 1800s. Because we walk into basically a fucking like square dance. Like it's what?
Yeah, it's all acoustic, banjos, piano.
Yeah, there's it's like a bluegrass band.
Someone's but not even good.
The washboard,
playing the washboard,
some spoons going.
Yeah. Like I like bluegrass. There's some good bluegrass out there, but this is just like picking and dicking, it's not
and like
good.
Just like
they're wearing like
ancient old woman is playing the piano. I mean, she's like gotta be like in her 90s. Like she barely looks like she's alive.
Joe Williams,
who is a real like they now Joe Williams and her White River Band or something like that. Is
White Boy River Band or something like that.
It's not White Boy. It's like white. It should be because they're all white. And they are. It could be the White Boy Band.
The Crackerneck River Boys.
The honky tonk. Yeah. I don't know. So once their songs over, this older guy who I'm guessing is supposed to be maybe the mayor of the town.
He talks like this the whole time.
He comes up and announces they have some special guests with them here tonight. And he introduces another elderly man as Charles Borden as the president of Canco Corporation, along with their special assistant, James Edwards, and finally their associate, Dr. Susan Drake. And first of all, a couple things on Canco. That's like, might as well just call it, what's the shit from Looney Tunes?
Acme.
Acme, thank you. Might as well just call it Acme, because it's the most generic.
Canco.
And what do? They can fish.
They can
They can salmon. So, Canco. Didn't think really hard on that one, writers. Did not spend much time on that.
Yeah. And come to think of it, I guess salmon makes sense. It would be Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay. I think.
Okay, there we narrowed it down. I didn't even think. Yeah.
All right.
Fish. Pacific Northwest. And so what? My other thing is, what is a special assistant? Because it looks to me like when you see the special assistant and the look he gives, like it's kind of like, is there like a secret code for gay lover going on here?
Like butt boy.
Yeah, because he kind of, and he seems a little effeminate and like. And to me, it's like a Mr. Burns and Smithers type relationship going on. To me, that's all I thought about the rest of the movie, like Burns and Smithers.
Well, it was the 80s, man. They didn't have the LGBT
kind
of, I mean, it's not like now where it's no big deal. Who cares? Maybe they had to be a little more on the DL, kind of like, oh, this is my special assistant.
Well, yeah, so basically from here on, I just call them Burns and Smithers because that's
nice.
That's
perfect.
What I got.
And Dr. Good and Sexy.
Dr. Good and Sexy.
Yeah, the doctor was looking a little. She like had her mouth open, kind of, when they introduced her, like, like a sexy look. I'm like, whoa, what's going
on? So Charles, aka Mr. Burns, gets up to give a speech about how his corporation loves this town, and about how the new Canco cannery factory will be the best thing that's happened to this town since God created the rivers and the oceans. And Hank, who is all about this, I'm guessing he's getting kickbacks or something. He starts clapping and like a giddy little schoolgirl. He's like loving it.
Well, he's pumped, man, because they're gonna put Noyo on the map.
Yeah. And then Burns goes on to promise the creation of new jobs and also promises that they will increase the catching rates on fishing. I mean, there'll be more fish for everybody.
Yeah, this is when he goes, our doctor here, and he goes, our sweet little scientist, talk about like sexist,
Oh my God, I was gonna bring it up, but he says it in such a way like, look at this
sweet little lady.
Like she's pretending to be a doctor. Isn't he cute?
Isn't she cute? Sexist as hell.
I know. It's ridiculous. Oh
so we can't talk about gays and we're going to be sexist. Look at the cute doctor trying.
Oh, I love the 80s. Dawn of the 80s. And he tells him that for the last 7 years, Dr. Susan Drake, who he calls his great little scientist.
My great little scientist.
And he goes on, and it's like how he introduces her, and she's like doing research up their upstream facility for the last 7 years, and now they can make salmon grow faster, bigger, and more plentiful. And I'm like, geez, nothing ever goes wrong with genetic manipulation
in any of these movies ever.
Nothing.
Ever.
So nothing's gonna happen here. The crowd again claps. The mayor accuses the band to resume playing. Everyone goes on to enjoy their festival and square dancing and their hula hoo or whatever.
Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo. Thank you. So yeah, inside all
the shindig hootenanny.
So inside the adults, they're all dancing and drinking their Olympia beer. And at this point, I wonder how much Olympia paid to be like the official beer of Humanoids.
Or if they did. I mean, they may not have. It may have been just like sweet,
Maybe.
Just a local brew that's there.
Another note I made at this, a side note or observation made at this movie. So far, the entire population of this town is either in their 50s and up, or they're in their teens.
Right?
Except for like one or two women who might be in their early 30s or 40s. And the only kid I've seen so far was killed by the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right, and the brew crew that we had earlier, man, they're like being generous. They're early 40s.
Yeah.
And that's being generous.
So the dancing comes to a halt when Johnny Eagle enters holding. He comes in carrying his dead dog.
I know.
What a party pooper! He just brings a dead dog to a party.
He's the dog. It's a big dog.
It's a husky. That's a husky.
Carrying it in both hands. It's bleeding all over him.
Yeah. And he basically accuses Hank of killing his dog, which Hank passive aggressively
basically says, yeah.
And he's like, And then he accuses Johnny of killing all the other dogs. And Johnny just jumps against us. That's it. I'm putting an end to this war by taking you to court. Because he wants to sue them for the return of his people's land. Which, and how the great fuck would you even go about doing that?
Like, do they have a standing agreement or something? I mean, it's the way he jumps is like, all of a sudden, it's like, I'm taking back all this land.
I mean, it's not like it was like the, 1600s or 1800s or when America was buying the land off the Indians.
And it would make so much more sense if he would have said something to the effect of, we made a treaty that we would do fishing this way, the way that I'm for. You're bringing in these new people. You'll see me in court. That would have made so much more sense and at least been kind of like...
He's just like, you stole the land from my people or something like that. I'm taking you to court.
You built can fishery on Indian burial ground. This will not stand. I will fight you in your courts.
I wish that would have come up in the movie. If they would have said that we built the cannery on an Indian burial ground, I would have loved that.
In the background. That'd be great. Sorry, I was pounding. I was trying to get my Indian war drums going.
So Hank and his men toss Johnny out of the building, and they follow him outside. And once outside, Johnny starts to fight back, but he just gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, Johnny's getting beat up.
And the townsfolk pour out in the parking lot to watch. And then here comes Jim.
Jim
just steps in and takes out everybody. He just basically one-handedly takes out all of Hank's men.
And there's like 5 or 6 of Hank's guys, and it's kind of funny because Jim's watching it for a while, and he goes, all right,
that's enough.
He just goes, I guess no one else is going to stop this. I gotta. And this is so funny because I love these 1980s, kind of late 70s, early 80s films. Because every time a punch is thrown, you hear, psh.
Yeah. You're like one step away from like the cheesy Batman show, like, pow!
Yeah. It's every time there's a punch, psh, psh, and the body shot goes, thunk.
Or like those old Chinese like kung fu movies where
yeah, it's such ridiculous effects. Everybody's getting punched and psh, psh,
yeah.
Psh.
So the fight continues until the sheriff comes in breaks up by carelessly just firing his gun in the air in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
He just whips it out and fires off a few shots.
And this is Sheriff Xanax. I swear to God, he has got he's just all right. Pow, shoots 2 shots in them. All right, boys, that's enough. Wrap it up. Are you kidding me? There's like
a perfect way of saying, because he is totally that way. He is
the whole movie. He's just come on.
Yeah,
now.
no emotion.
Even when things are like really tense, and he's trying to. Well, I can't believe this is happening. Jesus Christ, man! Get this guy some coffee.
It's like Sheriff Stephen Wright. Yeah, right? We remember the comedian. So we cut to the next day. And Hank is in his like small outboard fishing boat, like the old like green kind. You walk in by at a Walmart or something like that. Yeah. And side note, fuck you, Walmart.
Whoa.
Yeah, fuck Walmart.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Fuck Walmart.
Whoa.
What?
Man, you are out of the gates.
Walmart is owned by fucking Stan Kroenke and his stupid family. So fuck Walmart. Fuck Stan Kroenke. That stupid porn stash motherfucker. I'm going on a little rant. But
wow. This has nothing to do with
this show. No, this is my
has to do
rant.
with St. Louis Rams. So man,
all right. Let's bring it back down.
All right,
I don't want to get worked up. It's good. All right, let me take a sip of my beer here. Let me calm down.
Marshall is drinking Leinenkugel lemon shandy.
Yes, refreshing. All right, now
we should have got some Olympias.
Should have thought about it. I didn't even know if they made. I won't even know where to find Olympia anymore.
You probably have to go to a good liquor store or something, but I'm sure you can find it.
So Hank's going upriver, and he comes to a small little dock. And instead of pulling up to the dock, he runs the boat up on the shoreline, ties the boat to this tiny, tiny, fragile-looking little branch, which I'm like, really, of all things to tie to, how about the big log that tiny branch is attached to?
Giant trees around everywhere, big logs,
Which are the most flimsy-looking thing. And he proceeds to head up the hill to the brush and hiding when this truck passes by. And he approaches old, like, shack-looking building, and we hear a voice inside, and they're saying things like, maybe we should wait for Johnny Eagle. Caw-caw! And someone to talk to, this lawyer he's talking to in Sacramento. And he said, this lawyer in Sacramento will take it on because it's going to be a landmark case, so he's going to take it on for free. And Hank continues to sneak up. He's eavesdropping on this conversation. And that's it. We just cut this girl lounging on the beach and drawing while one of the teenage couple we saw from the festival.
The guys who polish out the flask.
Yes, thank you. They're just making out on the towel.
Aggressively.
And it's weird because the girl drawing starts like just watching, like she's like a creeper on him.
Like she does not like kind of glance to the
No,
side.
she's just
Like
watching.
yeah, she's not glancing like, oh geez, oh boy. No, she's like looking like, yeah.
I get it. Get it.
She's just mesmerized. She stops drawing, she stops everything. She's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, she's straight up.
Which is pretty awesome. Like, good for her.
And so out on the water, on the ocean at this point, is Jim's fishing boat with Jim, Dr. Susan Drake, and Jim's brother. I said adult son Tommy again, but brother Tommy and Smithers is on the boat. And Smithers starts sounding like the whiniest, brattiest kid when he catches a fish, because he's like, I caught one, it's mine, it's all mine. Like that's what he sounds like for like a 40-year-old man catching a fish. It's insane.
Maybe he's never been fishing. He was excited.
I'm guessing he's never been fishing, but like I can say, oh, I caught one, yeah, it's mine. But he's like, it's mine. It's like so whiny and
Little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So the makeout couple, they get up, they walk off. The camera pans down to show a giant footprint left by one of these creatures in the sand.
Uh-oh.
Which, by the way, that thing would be so hard, not to miss. Maybe I said the wrong. It's gigantic. How anybody misses this?
Yeah.
But
the funny thing is, it's just one.
Yeah, it is just one.
It's not like there's tracks.
You're right.
It's just one big...
Just one print.
One print. It's like, that's where the sand is soft. It's like, whoa, like slipped in. It's just one print.
I totally overlooked the fact that it's just one print.
So I guess you could miss it if it's just
creature
who just happened to hop there.
So the couple is next seen playfully running along the beach, which now looks like a completely different beach.
It's like really rocky.
Yeah, the original
like,
beach is just
sand.
like high rocks and like bluffs, very rocky as you're saying. And now this new beach is like just flat, pristine sand, pretty water. I was like, what?
Why didn't you guys go to that beach originally?
Like, did we just go from like Washington to the fucking Bahamas and like that? I mean, what happened?
So they're gallivanting around, playing splishy splashy. She's in her little bikini. He's in his fucking Daisy Duke cut-off shorts.
Oh, no man should ever wear shorts like that.
I don't know why he's swimming in jean shorts that are cut so his cock can hang out the
fucking
bottom.
80s. But yeah, after 2 seconds of them frolicking around, we're right back to the rocky beach. And this is where I learned the guy's name is Jerry. And so I get that much. The blonde girl, she has a really nice body and looks great in a bikini, by the way.
Yeah, very hot.
And so yeah, we've
they're
gone
frolicking, they're playing,
but we're back in the rocky beach. So we've gone rocky, flat, pristine sand, right back to rocky beach.
Yeah,
and they continue along shore, and the camera pans over to show like this sea cave, like a cave at sea level in the bluff. And we go right back to the boat. So again, we're jumping all over at this point.
Bad editing.
Yeah. So we're back on the boat where the Charles, the Canco president, he just suddenly appears out of nowhere. Like, how did he get on this boat? But he grabs the fishing line, saying that he's caught something, and
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. And Tommy starts talking to him how to reel in the fish. Charles, a.k.a. Burns, he struggles with the line, saying, it's a monster!
Yeah.
And all we see is a blurry image of something under the water. And right as they're about to reel it in, the line breaks. And during all of this, Susan's just standing there taking pictures.
Taking pictures on a big camera. And I got something to say about this.
Okay.
So keep going.
Oh, okay. So Jim then asked Tommy and Susan what it was. Like, what do you see? But neither of them seem to know.
Yeah, you kind of get a shot. It almost looks like, it's like that shot in Jaws. Like when the shark comes up and like swims under the boat. That's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But you can't tell what the fuck it is. It's just like
a black
blob.
Yeah, it's like the shadow. And he also asked Susan what she saw through her camera, but she says she won't know until the film is developed.
Yeah, this is the best part. He goes, this is the part I want to talk about with Jim. Because I got a theory about Jim.
But that's right, kids. We used to have to take pictures on film.
Well, this is the best part.
That had to be developed.
This is the best part, is that Jim goes, what'd you see through that? Let me see it. And she says, I won't be able to show you until I develop my film. And he goes, oh, yeah. And then Jim's from the future. Jim's used to digital cameras.
Oh, he is. He's a time traveling badass.
He's a time traveling badass. That's why he is able to kick so much ass. That's because he's like, let me see that. Like, let me see your pictures.
Like,
because
he have a screen on it. It's like the
he's
future.
expecting to see digital pictures. And she goes, and she says, this is an 80s film.
Yes.
I have to develop the pictures before you can see it. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I'm like,
It's not like
Jim's from the future.
And it's not like cameras or anything. Like, they're not like brand new technology anymore. Right. People know about film and how it works.
Like, Jim let that one slip. He's like, oh, shit, can't let him know I'm from the future.
Gotta cover that up.
You almost broke the time paradox there, Jim. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, man. Doc Brown told us all about it.
So I wonder if Jim had to like kill other like present Jim or to keep them from running into each other. Like, what if Jim's from the future? Where's present day Jim at?
Maybe he's back to who knows. That's a good question. Maybe there is no present Jim. Maybe he just came back to live in simpler times, or prevent the invasion of the humanoids.
Yeah, so you're saying he's a god damn, what's the guy's name from Terminator?
John Connor?
No, not Connor. The Reese.
Oh,
he's like a Reese. He comes back to from the future as himself, but then. Oh shit! So their son, the baby, would be like the John Connor of the humanoids. He's the baby that rises up to rid humanity of the humanoids from the deep.
Whoa! I think we just made this movie more awesome.
We did just make this movie more awesome.
All right, let's keep going.
Oh god damn! So so anyway, I can also get at this point. I kind of get this feeling that. At least I did. I don't know about you, but you get a feeling that Susan knows she's hiding something. She's knowing something, but she's not really letting on about it yet. We go back to the couple, Jerry, the couple on the beach, and they're now leaving the seaside cave, and they prance into the ocean, and play around, and that is until Jerry gets pulled under the water and dragged away by an unseen force.
Mind you, this water is waist deep.
Yeah, at best. At best.
Waist deep. And they're close to the shoreline.
They are.
Really close to the shoreline. Like 1, 2, 3 steps and you're on the shore.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
So
he gets pulled under.
Now here we get some more quick editing because the movie goes back and forth between shots of the girl looking just fucking confused as hell and like, Jerry?
Where are you, Jerry?
Where'd you go?
Jerry, quit playing around.
And a bloody Jerry fighting with this creature underneath the water.
In waist-deep water.
Which the girl doesn't see like any splashing or struggle going on. She's like, where are you?
And the humanoid is big. These humanoids in the deep are pretty large.
Yeah, later they say they're supposed to be between 6 and
7 feet tall. And in waist-deep water, 2 grown adults, essentially 2 grown adults.
Yeah. It's fucking retarded. So finally the girl then turns and she sees Jerry, who's just like standing
with
there.
His back turned.
Yes, just standing there all of a sudden with his back to her. She wades up to him, turns him around, and she screams because the right half of Jerry's face is just gone.
Yeah, it's kind of a good effect.
That's exactly what I say. It is a pretty fucking awesome effect.
You see parts of his skull, and his jaw. And...
It's really quick, but it's really well done. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you see like the tendons, or like muscle tissue, and his eyes gone.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the better effects in the movie.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. She scrambles for shore, but she gets grabbed and is pulled out into the water. Mm-hmm. So let's keep that in mind. Into the water. But this is one of the first really bad continuity errors because
they pan back to Jerry, who's reaching out, going, still alive. That bitch. she's not like, oh my god, you're horribly injured. Let's take you to the doctor. She's like, ew, get away.
Yeah. You think I forgot about that, but yes.
Yeah. Poor Jerry's like, no.
But okay, so the kind of we just see her get pulled by the ankle out into the ocean, but the very next shot of her, she is being pulled like along the beach.
Yeah,
she's not in the water anymore. She's being dragged to the sand.
Yeah. All right.
What?
Bad continuity. Yeah, bad editing. Yeah.
So the woman who is drawing on the beach. Jim's wife,
the perv,
yeah. Jim's wife Carol is like standing on top of a hill or a bluff, shouts out to her, like, "Hey, you can come with me to meet the boat. And she's like, and this is where we learn her name is Linda.
Okay.
So we heard her name earlier.
Lovely, luscious Linda.
And so yeah, they leave. And we're back to the blonde girl who's being attacked by the creature on the beach. And again, this beach is covered in this like yarn seaweed. It looks like wet yarn. And the creature rips off her bikini top.
Damn.
And we're treating some dirty but rather nice boobs. And the creature...
Dirty but rather nice boobs.
Well, they're covered in sand and mud. They're dirty, but they're nice
That's the
looking.
funniest line I think I've ever heard on the show. Dirty but rather nice boobs. God.
So yeah, the creature is...
He just gets on top of her
and he basically starts raping her.
Yeah.
So we have the creature from the Black Lagoon raping this blonde topless woman on a beach.
This is like Creature from the Black Lagoon was a little more classy. At least he like carried the woman off in a nightgown, like
Yeah,
subtly.
and he's like, I'm going to take it back to my place.
Yeah.
Light some underwater candles,
Make
blow
you
some
some
bubbles.
nice, get you some nice fish sticks.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be great. This guy is just going straight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the
no whining, no dining.
No, this
just
is like
straight
this
to
is a
69.
fucking Guido bro fist pumping creature from Black
Yeah,
Lagoon.
he's roofing people.
So we jump back to Hank, who's ordered a beer at the local bar, and to my surprise, it was not Olympia.
No.
But this is product placement for Heineken, and Budweiser,
Yeah, right
which
on.
I know is the other two beers featured in this movie.
He takes it back to the brew crew, and the brew crew's
Yes.
got bruises. They're all beat up
Yeah.
from Jim kicking the shit out of him.
From Jim. And yeah, they're all sitting around a table talking about Johnny Eagle and how Eagle and his people are going to sue the land.
And why do they want to get Johnny Eagle after Jim stomped him? You know?
Because you don't fuck with Jim.
No,
That's
you
right.
don't.
You don't fuck with Jim. You can
don't.
fuck with Johnny Eagle, but you don't fuck with Jim.
Don't mess around with Jim. Yeah.
It's like the whole, you don't pull in Superman's cave, you don't spin in the wind, but you don't fuck around with Jim.
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
So Hank tells him it's up to us to take care of Johnny Eagle. So back at the docks, Johnny Eagle is trying to talk to Jim about the cannery, but he hasn't. Like, listen, Johnny, I don't want to talk about it right now. You're for it, I'm against it. Or I'm for it, you're against it. Let's just leave it at that. You know, we're pals, whatever.
Right.
So Jim walks off to greet his wife, and who's just now pulled up. So Johnny now switches attention to Tommy, saying he would like to talk to him about the cannery. Linda shows up. Turns out Linda is Tommy's girl, and so Johnny Eagle at this point is just like like an annoying vegan. It's like, hey, can I talk to you about the sins of eating meat? Let me talk to you about this. Like, fucking dude, go away. Leave me alone.
Let me talk to you about the sins of this cannery.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
But Jenny says he caught a bunch of steelheads and asked them if they would help him beat them. And I was like,
He said eat.
did he?
He said
no.
eat.
He said beat.
No, he said eat. Why would you beat steelheads?
That's
You
what I
eat
thought. I was
them.
like, why do you want to go murder fish? I'm like, okay, if he catches them, you have to kill them to fry them up and eat them. I thought, are they still alive? You have to go beat them with sticks
I
first?
can't believe you thought it was beat.
I thought he said beat.
It's pretty clear it's eat. It's a weird one to bring up.
No.
Please don't tell me you wrote up about notes about how he said to beat steelheads.
I did. I did. I thought he said, let's go beat them up. Or
No.
let's go beat them. I just said beat them. All right, well, I'll skip that part for us. Fuck it. So the three of them leave in Johnny's little boat. They
Little
go.
schooner.
It's not even it's
Yeah,
just
it's
a tiny little outboard motorboat. So back to the beach where there's a couple in a tent now. And at first we just see the tent and we hear them talking and the lines come off. Lines like, come on, baby, take it off. Real sexy stuff. And not until I see it first, more than just the head, blah, blah, blah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So now we jump inside the tent and there's a guy with a fucking ventriloquist dummy and his girlfriend. Now, this might be the most far-fetched thing in this whole movie, maybe even in any movie, that the more this guy talks as his dummy,
The hotter, she gets.
I don't know any women who get wet over a ventriloquist. So
She has got wood for wood.
now I believe Jim is a time traveler because we've gone full science fiction here. We
Yeah.
have women turned on by ventriloquists and Jim time traveling.
Whoa. I guess there's got to be one or two of them out there. Well,
I mean,
good for him. Good for ventriloquist guy.
look,
He landed
Jeff
it.
Dunham's married, but I mean,
But yeah,
I don't know.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Well, too bad he can't decide to camp on that beach though.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't turn out too good.
So anyway, she starts getting naked while he talks to his dummy, and this girl has huge natural tits, like
nice knockers,
really nice.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're about to get it on, or I don't know what's gonna happen. If he's gonna fuck her with the dummy,
mind you, it's like just cloudy outside. It's daytime, but it's cloudy.
Yeah, it's cloudy.
Mind you.
Yeah. And suddenly the creature just rips through the tent. He slashes the guy across the back, leaving this huge bloody
giant
gash.
chunk out of him.
The girl screams, scrambles out of the tent. Now, during this
as soon as she goes outside...
No, before we even get to that here, the dummy's eyes are moving back and forth. What the fuck? The dummy just became possessed now. I'm like, holy shit, it's one of Mary Shaw's dummies from Dead Silence.
From Dead Silence.
Like, why are the eyes moving on their own? The guy is dead. What is happening?
Maybe it was going to be a three-way.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
Who knows what's going to happen in that fucking tent?
Maybe they had a doll from Mary Shaw's, and they were all going to just have a nice little three-way.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So she takes off running buck-ass naked across the beach.
On a almost dark, like, it's the last light of day.
Yeah.
Like, we went from full, like, it was cloudy, but now it's almost completely dark.
And yeah.
And she's running on the beach, naked.
Yeah, nothing's saying. We get full frontal glory in this. But she runs smack dab into another creature.
This is a massive beach.
I don't know how it's even possible.
Massive beach, and she's running like right towards it.
Yes.
She's running, looks behind her once or twice, but she's looking forward almost the whole time.
Yes.
And she runs right into it. Right fucking into it.
Yes. Thank you so much, because I'm going to do the same rant, because it's not like he pops out from behind a tree or anything. The dude just
nothing.
It's like this creature just standing on the beach,
standing
minding
there.
his own business, and this naked woman just runs into him.
He's like, whoa, hey, excuse me, ma'am.
I mean, it might
excuse
be like
me.
a neon light arrow pointing down and saying "monster" right here.
Yeah.
And so
it's like, ma'am, whoa, ma'am.
Yeah.
You just ran into me. I think you need to apologize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the creature, obviously angry because she just got ran into by this bitch not looking where she's going, tosses her to the ground and rapes her from behind.
Yeah.
Like straight up rear entry, ass up, rapes this woman on the beach.
Damn.
So now we jump right back to Hank and two of his men. They're boating up to Johnny Eagle's place. And also on the river is Johnny Eagle, Tommy and Linda. Now they hear the boat approaching, and Johnny starts to back up and drives. I don't know what I'm saying. Drives off back. They take his boat and he goes back to his place. Oh, somebody's coming. Let's get back to my place. And they pull out to this tiny dock, hop out, head up to his house.
Did you notice, again, continuity? That
Yes.
Now, Jim's brother, I don't remember his name. Tommy has a jacket on and an STP hat.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't have that before.
No.
No.
And speaking of continuity, when we arrive at Johnny's dock, it's clearly nighttime. Like, it's dark.
Dark.
But there's a it starts, every time it cuts back to Hank and his boys, it's like cloudy again. It's clearly day. It's cloudy, but it's clearly daytime. So we go from like night to day in a matter of in seconds. So we see a creature pop up outside Johnny's place as Tommy and Linda kiss by the water pump. Which this is a weird place to kiss.
Yeah.
Back to Hank, and it's once again daylight. He turns off his motor so they can quietly coast up near Johnny's place. They light a Molotov cocktail and throw it. Johnny, just with his ESP or something, leaps over a table.
It's his Native American training. Or just, danger.
So he leaps over this picnic table to save Linda. His house explodes.
Again, three different angles. Badoosh, badoosh, badoosh.
And it's not even just his house exploding, but everything around it explodes.
It's the most powerful Molotov cocktail
Thank you. I was going to say,
ever.
it's just a Molotov cocktail. It would set the place on fire, yes.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? Is Johnny Eagle cooking up meth inside his place? Because what would cause that explosion?
The explosion was so big. I mean, the whole building, boom, just gone. And again, several different angles. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. just ridiculous.
Oh, and by the way, when we see Johnny, Tommy, and Linda next, they should all be dead because
by the size of this explosion.
They're like 6 feet away from the house.
And the funny thing is, we cut to him, and they're like Johnny's like kind of covering him, and
they're on the ground.
He's got his arms around each one of them because I guess he tackled them and put them together.
Linda, we know that.
But he's got his arms around both of them now.
Yeah,
and he just looks up and he's like, "Oh."
Those guys should be just.
But the funniest thing is
nothing.
The funniest thing is the place is destroyed.
Yes,
there's nothing left. And they start panicking and put out the fire.
Yeah.
What? Dude, someone just literally threw a bomb.
Yeah.
Blew up your place. Nothing's left. All it's going to burn is a little bit of, like, the remains.
The remains, yeah.
Why freak out about putting them out? And
Yes,
they start freaking out like they can salvage something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing
to salvage.
left. The place is gone. And so they all start trying to put out the fire.
Yeah. But they say, Linda, take my truck to go get, I guess, help the fire
Go
crew
to town, get help. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Just fuck it. All go to town and be like,
well,
someone just blew up my fucking house.
Yeah. Tommy sees something move in the river, and thinking it's one of the assailants, he starts shooting a rifle blindly into the dark at the spot. And a creature's hand reaches out from the water, grabs Tommy by the ankles, pulls him into the dark river. But Tommy manages to get away for a brief moment, but he's grabbed again and pulled under.
But Tommy grabs his gun and starts, like, he's fighting. He's really fighting.
Well, he is Jim's brother. It must run in the family.
Yeah, because he's fighting his nuts off.
He's no Jim.
Yeah.
He does get away and tries beating the thing with the rifle.
He hasn't gotten his man strength yet.
Yeah. Tommy, breaks free. He starts pulling himself up to the dock. And this is when Johnny Eagle finally turns around to see what's happening. The creature leaps up at Tommy, trying to pull him back, but Johnny picks up a stick, I think, and chucks it at the creature. He throws a stick at him, and the stick hits the creature so hard, it takes a chunk of its head or its back off. It's hard to tell because it's dark. Either way, it falls into the water as Johnny rushes up to Tommy. What? Like,
hey man,
he throws a stick?
It's Native American style.
I guess,
dude. He's got that aim.
Jesus, I wish you were throwing tomahawk. Oh God, you were throwing tomahawk with like a little feather attached.
That'd have been perfect.
Yep.
Oh, so racist.
I know, but
I love it.
But you know, it would have done that.
just badass, badass racist at the same time.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yes, in a good way.
I've been drinking, guys. Sorry.
Johnny goes to pull Tommy the rest of the way out of the water up on the dock, but up pops the creature. It's shrieking. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's making crazy
screeching
noise.
Yeah. Johnny grabs a rifle, shoots it twice, seemingly killing it.
Now, again, really quick, when Tommy pulls himself kind of out of the water, one of the creatures gets out and just slams Tommy's head over and over and over into the dock. Like,
I think I missed that part.
It's a pretty intense scene. I'm like, Jesus, is he gonna smash his brains out? Because he's just beating the shit out of Tommy.
I think I missed. That's my writing or my notes. I missed that.
Woo! He beat the shit out of Tommy.
So we join up with Linda now, driving down the road towards town, when suddenly, from out of fucking nowhere, a creature's arm swings down from the roof of the truck and smashes through the windshield like Michael Myers style.
Yeah.
It flails away, trying to grab her, while Linda screams and tries to maintain control of the truck. She hits the brakes, the creature rolls off the truck and on the road. As it begins to get back up, Linda drives over it. He just continues on her way like nothing happened.
The funniest thing is, like, she's struggling, she's trying to keep her on the road, there's his arm trying to grab her. She slams on the brake, it falls down, she takes a breath, and this is the type of scene where you think, okay, it's starting to get up, floor it, baby, run it over.
Yeah.
Right? And she just kind of like, She puts it in gear and slowly drives over, and you hear kind of a... It's like, she just kind of squishes it very slowly, runs over it.
Yeah, it's so casual,
it's
like
so
nothing
casual.
happened.
You'd think it'd be like, hit the gas, the wheels start screeching, bam!
Yeah,
you know?
think, but no.
Yeah, but no, she's just driving this Daisy, rolls over it.
So, moments later,
Not even a moment.
Yeah, it's like the very next scene, we see the creature rise up behind her in the bed of
There's
the truck.
another one.
It punches through the rear window, it grabs Linda. She struggles with it. However, the struggle causes her to lose control of the truck.
She can't keep control.
And drives off of a bridge. And it explodes on impact with the ground.
Ba-boom! Ba-boom! 3 different angles again.
Oh, God.
Anytime there's an explosion, there's 3 different angles. Oh, it's so awesome.
So the next day comes, and Susan drives into town wanting to rent a boat. Oh, God.
Wants to rent a boat from the artsiest, fartsiest guy in town.
Yeah.
He's got black glasses on that are round. He's wearing a beret.
And he's also like 80 years old.
And he just gives 0 fucks. And he's just kind of sitting in this like mustard yellow button-up shirt with his beret and his artsy glasses.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, ma'am, I would not suggest you rent a boat today. Not today.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the
like,
scene. I love that guy.
And he points across the street to this group of people gathering.
Like some of the brew crew and some other people, the sheriff.
And so Susan
Sheriff Xanax.
Yeah, she approaches the group, which is Hank and Sheriff Xanax with like the rest of the brew crew and whatever. They're talking about Linda's death and what and whatnot, what's going on. And up comes Johnny Eagle in his boat.
Yep.
They all rush to the dock as he pulls up to it.
What do you got in the boat there, Johnny?
Laying on the floor of the boat is Tommy.
All fucked up.
Tommy's loaded into the back of a pickup as Jim and Carol pull up. Carol hops into the bed of the truck as it speeds away. So we assume Tommy is still barely alive and they're taking him to the hospital.
Yeah. Fuck ambulances. Put him in the back of this fucking ancient Ford and floor it.
Exactly. So, Susan's asking Johnny about
How big is Noyo? There's gotta be like no one there.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have ambulances, I don't think they even have a fire department. They probably have like a,
Yeah, poor Johnny Eagle's
they
gotta
probably
put
have
his...
to do like the bucket, like get the bucket conveyor line.
Johnny Eagle's gotta use his fucking garden hose to put out his fire, you know?
Oh, God. So Susan's asking Johnny what he saw, and he tells her about the creature and that it was somewhere between 6 and 7 feet tall. Jim confronts the sheriff about Tommy, and this is where I found out it was his brother, not his son.
Yeah.
So the sheriff
I thought it was the son too the whole time.
Yeah, me too. So the sheriff tells him it was some kind of sea monsters. Hank chimes in saying, "That's right. They even burned down Johnny's house, took his gun, and attacked Tommy." Without skipping a beat, Jim's like, "Yeah, totally. Sea monsters.
Yeah.
That sounds plausible.
I'm in.
I'm on board with that."
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's from the future. He already knows.
He already knows it's sea monsters.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sea monsters, let's do this.
I got it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Hey, I'm going on the water to look for evidence because why not?
We need to go find these sea monsters."
And Johnny and Susan say, "All right, we'll go with you."
Yeah.
Because, sea monsters, totally cool.
Yeah,
Nobody's like, "What the fuck are you smoking, Johnny Eagle?
Yeah.
You gotta get that peyote or something."
Smoke at the peace pipe. Yeah.
Everybody's like, sea monsters, like, it's totally cool.
Yeah, the only one who thinks it's bullshit is Hank. And his brew crew. I feel bad because I'd be on their side. And they're the dicks. They're the bad guys. They're the assholes. And I'd be right there with them like, yeah, boys, that sounds like a bunch of horse shit to me. Let's go pop open Olympia and fuck off these guys,
So the three of them are in Johnny's little one-motor outboard boat heading back up the river. Eagle takes them to where the creatures were first spotted. Susan hops out and starts taking pictures of the scene, and she starts talking about how she thinks they're nocturnal creatures, and if they're as big as Johnny Eagle says they are, then the river will not sustain them much longer. They'll head out into the ocean, which, bitch, they've already done that.
Yeah, they're already in the ocean.
And
also, it's kind of cloudy this day.
Yeah,
it's also cloudy.
And cloudy, but like that's where they get your shit straight movie because they've already been in the ocean. They open in the ocean. So the very next scene, all three of them are out in the ocean now. So teleporting out there, and they're on Jim's fishing boat, and they think they've caught one of the lines, but it's just a salmon, and so nothing fucking happens. Time passes. Jim starts to grill. He starts laying into Susan hard about what she truly knows about this, and she's dodging the questions by pointing out the sea caves and asking where they lead to and blah blah blah. So now they get into like their little inflatable powered raft, lifeboat, whatever, and
now it's crystal clear day.
Crystal clear, yes.
Yeah, so we've gone from a cloudy day, kind of rainy, to crystal clear day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they drive off towards the caves. They beach the raft. They go in on foot, where they find a creature laying on the beach.
Yeah, just chilling.
And yeah, I swear this thing looks like it's just sunbathing.
Yeah.
Trying to get a tan, because it's just laying out like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, there's no mystery at all. There's
They should have like a coconut drink with a little umbrella,
a parasol in it. Yeah,
parasol, like
just
a Mai Tai.
chilling.
Like,
Got some steel drums in the background. Just chilling out. Yeah, he just kind of looks up. It's like, oh shit, there's humans.
Yeah, it gets up shrieking. Jim shoots it several times.
Well, this is the best part.
It's just, maybe it wasn't shrieking. Maybe maybe it's saying, hey guys, you want to
Hello.
join? Hello.
This seaweed's fantastic.
Yeah, Jim just murders it.
Well, he comes running towards it, and she says, "Don't shoot, don't shoot." And then it gets closer. He goes, "Shoot it, shoot it."
So Jim's shooting it while Susan just stands there taking fucking
pictures.
These creatures look fucking ridiculous. First of all, their arms are they're like 6. Some of they're all different, but some of them have arms that are like 6 feet long.
So long.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous how long these arms are.
I mean, they're comically bad effects because you don't have the CGI at the time technology, so it's just like these arm extensions that are.
And you can tell like where the actor's arms stop,
Yeah,
and
where
because it just like starts drooping down.
Exactly,
you kind of like droop. Yeah.
So
why did they do? I'm like, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and their heads basically have no eyes. They're just small circular areas that are supposed to represent eyes that never blink, like little green BBs or something like that. Yeah. And another creature pops up from behind Susan and is about to get her when Jim shoots that one too.
Jim's fucking on it.
This is where Jim's like a fucking action hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he can fight. I mean, he fights off 3 or 4 guys.
He's
he has perfect aim.
A dead eye.
Dead eye.
Yeah.
And at this point, more creatures start showing up.
One of them drags.
But hell, that doesn't fucking matter because we got Jean-Claude Van Jim on the scene, or maybe Arnold Jimenegger or Dwayne the Jim Johnson or something.
Dwayne the Jim Johnson. Dwayne the Jim Johnson. That's the best.
So Jim jumps backwards, landing on his back, and shoots one dead center mass. And he then turns, sees another one pulling
the best thing
eagle.
is, while it's falling down, it's like dramatically about to fall, and Jim does the slowest, yet still best roll ever to get away. Pops up, sees Johnny Eagle.
He's being pulled out into the ocean.
Being beaten up by one of these things.
So like a fucking boss, Jim just shoots that one right in the chest, and then perfectly right between the eyes.
Oh, Jim.
I tell you, at this point, I want to see a movie starring Jim and Mo from the
Yes.
Stuff. Jim and Mo together.
Yes.
That is an unstoppable duel of awesomeness.
Just like middle-aged, normal-looking dudes who kick so much ass. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
No sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I want to buy Jim an Olympia beer.
Jim don't drink Olympia though.
No, he's a Budweiser.
He's a Budweiser. I don't know.
Man.
I don't think he ever drinks. We see him drinking his Olympia.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Jim.
So once all the creatures have been Jimified, Susan finds Jerry's blonde girlfriend under a pile of seaweed, and this is where you learn her name is Peggy. Turns out she's still alive, and Susan just keeps taking pictures the whole time.
She's just intubating in mounds of seaweed. It's like her one leg is hanging out. That's the only way they found her.
Yeah.
She's just covered in seaweed.
Again, another creature pops up behind Susan, but this one's dispatched by a harpoon through the chest via Johnny Eagle.
You gotta throw Johnny Eagle a bone.
Yeah, he gotta get a bone.
You gotta throw him a bone.
I like how Johnny Eagle's first 2 kills have been with throwing like a fucking a tomahawk and basically a spear.
Yeah, it's like he's keeping it real. Shit.
So racist. So we cut now to this lab.
I don't believe in gunpowder.
I'm just surprised. I'm really surprised they don't have him like just drinking whiskey the whole time, like fire water.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta get my breath. So we cut to this Susan's lab where Jim drops one of the dead creatures onto Susan's exam table.
And as soon as he drops it on there, there's all this goo coming out of its mouth. It looks like someone ate too many caramellos.
Yes,
I mean, Jesus, there's so much. It looked like caramel. Like, the first thing I thought was, that looks delicious. You know, like, it just looks like a giant blob of caramel.
And she starts rambling on about the creatures, and how she has no idea how a fish humanoid has evolved so quickly. Smithers enters, tries to get them to leave, but Jim refuses till he gets some answers. So Susan now, she finally comes clean about knowing something about this for a long time now, and that Kanko kept pushing it under the rug. And for the next several minutes, we just get a bunch of scientific mumbo-jumbo, and it's just...
DNA-5.
Yeah.
So they use the substance called DNA-5.
It's very Jurassic Park-esque. Talk about splicing DNA together from multiple sources along with DNA-5, which I don't think DNA-5 is actually real. I mean, there's something called DNA. There's a DNA-5 and DNA-3, but it's something called...
And mind you, this was 1980.
Yeah.
So the DNA craze, or DNA, like, wasn't really till the 90s when DNA was like, ooh, DNA.
And what DNA-5 and DNA-3... What I gotta look into this for try to do our educational moment, but it got confusing. But it's not like
it's too deep.
It's too deep. It's not like a thing you can, from what I could, maybe I'm wrong, but it's not something you can extract. It's not its own DNA strand. It's like part of
the DNA
strand. It's like, yeah, it's where the double helixes meet. Like there's a 5 and a 3, 5, and they're always opposites. 3s and 5 are always opposite, and that's where they connect or something like that. So I don't think it's an actual like. It's not like you're pulling out a chromosome or
to be perfectly honest, I think you're more accurate than the actual movie. I think they were just using it for buzzwords.
I think so too. I think what sounds cool? Oh, DNA-5.
DNA-5. Everyone's like, what the fuck is DNA?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So Susan's yapping on about how she thinks that these creatures evolved because their base fish form ate the enhanced DNA-5 salmon. And she also says that in one lifespan, they go through 4 stages of evolutionary growth, starting as a fish and growing into a humanoid fish creature. Where the fuck does she get to all that? Like, how is she? What? Like, no.
Well, that's how they explain it.
I know.
Yeah, that's how they try to explain it. And like,
and if she knew all this like 7 years ago, like she's known this and she hasn't done anything about it, then fuck her. This is all her fault. I don't care if her company's, hiding under the rug. She could easily blow the whistle, be a whistleblower, and say, you know what, this is fucked up. This could be potentially dangerous.
Mr. Burns might kill her. Who knows? You never know.
This is all Susan's fault. Everything in this movie is Susan's fault. Fucking women.
That's
so women.
That sweet little scientist. That sweet little lady scientist.
So sexist and racist, this movie. Everything's a woman's fault, and Indians are all fire, water, spear throwing people.
Heroes, Marshall. Heroes.
Oh, God, hate mail's coming, I'm sure. So Ego asks her why they're all attacking us, and she says that the creatures want to protect their food source and their territory, and that they probably perceive humans as a threat, and that they're driven,
competitor, yeah.
And they're driven to mate with human women.
Whoa.
Again, where is she getting? She's just pulling this shit out of her ass.
This is another thing, is that, again, biologically, fish do not hump. Okay, the fish don't hump. They lay eggs, and then the guy comes up, and the male comes up and ejaculates on the eggs, and there you go. Yep. That's the way they spawn. They don't hump.
Yeah,
there's not fish dongs going into fish vaginas. So, yeah.
Now, what about frogs?
Frogs are different because they're amphibians.
Well, technically that's what they're.
Because
she
does say they're
frogs.
going more amphibious. She does say they're going amphibious.
Like
yes.
the original, like the frogs.
But frogs also same thing. It's like he gets on.
Like the frogmen ate the salmon. I don't fucking know.
Fuck it. Who cares? Let's go.
Fish ate fish, which again, fish.
Well, they eat
much? I don't know.
Fish eat fish.
Yeah, but like, what kind of fish is gonna eat a salmon? It's gonna be a huge fish to eat a salmon.
Big ass fish.
A big ass fish.
Unless it's a tiny salmon.
Salmon aren't small.
Well, if it's a small little baby salmon.
That's babies. Yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's go.
All right.
We're wasting time.
So they all go silent for a moment, and then Jim, in a serious tone, says, "The festival."
While smoking a cigarette.
And the camera zooms in on Susan, and she says, "Oh my God." With that, we cut to Noyo, where the festival/carnival is in full
swing on the docks.
And this is where, holy shit, there's kids here. So I'm guessing they import their kids from this next towns over for this. And this is a huge festival for a small town. I mean, it's got there's rides and games. I mean, it's a big deal.
Ferris wheel. I mean, it looks great. It looks like a good time.
It really does. And of course, the festival is set up and held right next to the harbor and all the water.
Right on the docks. Yeah.
And there's a local radio station DJ broadcasting live and recording
KFSH. K-fish.
Fish. Yep, K-fish. And
I love it.
And according to the mayor, people come from 200 to 300 miles away for this festival. And that's where that's where the kids come from.
Oh, that's where the kids come from.
Not from Noyo, but they come from elsewhere. And again, the more I say Noyo, I don't know about you. We kind of touched on this earlier, but the more I said it in my head, it started sounding like a women's like shaving device or like a shaving cream for like Noyo. Like I don't know why. I was like,
okay, for those of you who not obviously there's no visual, but Marshall did a sassy finger, like 2 snaps. I was like, Noyo, and waving his finger
like,
around.
I get to see a commercial for like some shitty like women, like not shitty women, but like a shitty commercial for like.
Oh, you're thinking of No-No.
The
No-No hair removal system.
It seems like something like Noyo. Like,
okay, yeah. You get the Noyo.
You get the Noyo.
Noyo hair. No fro. I'm thinking Froyo.
Froyo,
the frozen yogurt.
Yeah. So anyway, we're taken to the house where it turns out it's Jim's house. It's Carol and her baby, but I didn't realize that for a while. And they're seen through a window. And the mother puts a child in a playpen and just leaves the room.
Yeah, old-ass Jim has got a baby.
Yeah.
A fucking, 2-year-old max.
Max. Yeah, Jim's like 50. Easy 50. I'm like in his 50s.
Jim's still squirting out some dusty
because
sperm.
Because he's fucking Jim.
But it's powerful sperm. Damn.
Because it's Jim, man.
Damn, Jim.
So back at the festival, the head of a creature emerges from the water. Hank and his men arrive, and so does Sheriff Xanax. Speaking of Hank... This asshole has gone off clean as a whistle, not just for burning down Johnny Eagle's house, but for blowing it the fuck up. Because nobody seems to even care about that anymore. And it's not even Johnny fucking Eagle himself is like saying, hey, my house has exploded. I'm sure as hell would not be letting that go if something blew up my house.
I don't know, man. That place was a shit shack. Maybe he had good insurance. Maybe he was like, awesome.
I don't know. I'm sure
it was a pretty crappy place.
I'm sure he's got a teepee out back he can live in for
a
while.
Oh! Damn.
Actions Northwest had been a longhouse. They didn't have teepees in
maybe a wigwam.
They had longhouses up there. He has a totem pole out front. I'm sure.
Jesus.
Oh, we're so bad.
To all of our Native American listeners, which is probably none.
Probably none.
Sorry.
You're an honorable and brave people.
Yes.
So the same band from the bluegrass band's back. They're playing, and god damn, does the banjo player look bored in this scene? He looks like he's just waiting to die at this point.
He's old as dirt.
He's old as dirt, plucking with his banjo. He just looks like just death come taking.
Kill me! I'm in a fucking stupid shirt playing the banjo with a retarded little hat on. Yeah. Please kill me now. My wife rules my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this time, Jim and the others return and drop a body bag at the feet of the sheriff, who's standing in front of a large crowd of festival goers.
He's not like, whoa, what are you doing? No, stop it.
He's like, let me open this up.
He's Sheriff Xanax.
And it's a dead sea creature there. And again, I would think you would not want to you would do that with a little bit more couth and discretion.
A little classier.
Not from like the 8-year-olds and the women and all the...
Hey, we came to ruin your party.
Yeah.
Check this out.
So, of course, the crowd begins to panic. So, Susan, trying to calm them down, chimes in with this little gem. We know what they are, but we have no idea how many of them there are.
Oh, way to calm a crowd.
What the That's just fucking great. I'm pretty sure telling anyone you have no idea how many of these vicious sea creatures there are is going to calm everyone down and not just make things worse. I was like, what the fuck? So, holy shit, okay. At this time, a sea creature bursts up through the wooden planks of the boardwalk.
These things are so thin. There's literally hundreds of people standing on these planks.
Yeah.
And it's one sea creature just pushes his way up through the top. And how far off the water is it?
Exactly, that's what I wanted to know.
Jesus.
Like, how did that thing leap like 8 feet?
No, because they show as soon as he bursts through, it's like he bursts through and there's water right there. It's like he's right. Like they built this harbor like an inch above the water line. You know, it's ridiculous.
So,
and he bursts through. Everyone screams, starts running. More and more start bursting through.
Susan tosses Johnny Eagle, the rifle, and he shoots it. And now Johnny Eagle, I think Jim's worn off on Johnny Eagle because Johnny Eagle becomes a fucking dead shot too.
Yeah.
Nobody misses in this movie.
No.
And also knowing this rifle has not once been reloaded since that scene on the beach. And it's shot like a good 20 or more times. Never reloaded.
It's from the future, Marshall.
Oh, shit. That's right. Fuck.
He brought that with him from the future.
Yeah.
It just looks like an old-timey gun.
It's really a laser rifle that looks like a...
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So more creatures... Yeah, you're right. The crowd starts fleeing as more of the creatures start popping up and over.
It's pandemonium.
One of them knocks one of Hank's men into the water, which immediately turns blood red. So...
Yeah,
the guy pretty much
strange.
just dies from falling into the water.
It's like a few people in this movie, when they fall into the water, it's just bloody.
Yeah.
It's just instantly bloody.
He gets knocked into the water and just turns to blood.
Yeah.
Like, nothing actually kills him.
Just blood water.
Oh, and bullshit on the fact that these things are supposed to be nearly 7 feet tall. They're barely 5 feet tall when you see them walking around.
Well,
granted, some are a little hunched over, but they're nowhere near 7 feet tall.
It's not like Matumbo coming at you, you know?
So, anyway, one of them grabs the radio station roller. Okay, there's a girl with a DJ who's on roller skates the whole time. She's skating around like the promo chick or something.
Roller girl, yeah.
He grabs this girl, tosses her to the ground, and tries to fuck her right there on the spot.
Yeah, they're just out for women.
Yeah.
Just aggressively raping.
Yeah, it's like a Viking raiding party, but instead of loot and plunder, they're just raping.
Yeah.
And while two more of them gang rape another woman. So under the boardwalk, another sea monster breaks one of the support beams.
Dude, how flimsy is this support beam? How flimsy is this? Because he just grabs it and kind of shakes it a little. It looks like me shaking a margarita or something. Yeah. And he's just kind of shaking it, and it just comes crashing down.
Yeah. So again, like, if that's not something, like, how the hell is that thing supporting the weight of all these people above it?
Right.
There's some shitty craftsmanship going on in
Noyo.
So the support beam comes crashing down, causing the ramp that it was holding up the ramp to the higher parts of the dock collapse down and like just hang there, kind of like if you cut a rope bridge, it just like hangs there.
Yeah, yeah. And they go back to that same spot a couple times.
Yeah, and you would think by the time once it collapsed, people would kind of run away from there, but
stay away from that area.
But yeah, they keep coming back, and there's still people around. Like, I don't know. Anyway, people fall into the water where they're instantly attacked and killed by the sea monsters. Jim tells Susan to start pumping gas from the hold of his boat into the water.
What the fuck kind of plan is this? I don't get this at all.
I will come back to this because I have a lot to say about this as well.
All the commotion is happening on land, on the harbor. Everything's happening there.
And he's like, fuck that.
And he's like, let's get in the boat. And I'm thinking, Jim, you're a pussy. You're running away from the fight. And he's like, I got a plan. Spray this gasoline in the water. Yeah. Okay, Jim, where's this going? Because guess what? Everyone's getting fucking killed and murdered,
raped up there on
the harbor, and you're tooling around in the water, just spraying gasoline.
And
what the fuck are you doing?
But I have problems with this. So meanwhile, it's just pure chaos going on. So much is happening so fast it gets really hard to keep up with. It just basically it's men being slaughtered left and right while women getting mounted.
Yeah, guys are getting their heads ripped off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the very next note. Guy gets his head ripped off.
Someone's rib cage.
It's kind of like the scene from it reminded me of the scene from Poultrygeist, where all the
it's just pandemonium. Yeah. And one of my favorites though is when the DJ gets attacked.
Do I have that one? I might. Yeah, I actually have that coming up. So
I want to talk about the girl that's with the
DJ
because
we'll talk about that for sure because I have that.
She's my favorite.
So the movie now cuts away from the chaos and goes back to the house, to Jim's house, where Carol is now in the shower, and we hear the radio DJ talking about the massacre at the festival, but she can't hear it because of the shower water. And we see one of the sea creatures standing outside her window, looking in. Yeah, like watching her in the shower, and then it's right back to the chaos.
Okay, before we move on, during all the pandemonium going on, everyone's screaming and screaming. Did you notice the screaming is on a loop?
Yes, it is on a loop.
Oh my god, it's the worst. It's the same scream on like a 5 to 10 second loop.
I was gonna bring up
over and over and over again.
I was gonna bring that up in my odds and ends section, but yeah, you pointed. Yeah, the screams on a loop.
God, it's so annoying.
So Jim and Susan are spraying gas in the water while Sheriff Xanax is calling for the state patrol on his radio.
Better get the highway patrol here.
And there's a shot of this girl on the merry-go-round who sits there on this horse.
I love the merry-go-round shot.
While she watches a monster kill one of Hank's other buddies just a few feet behind her.
Getting closer and closer. I love the shot because it spins around. He kills it, spins back around. He's a little closer, spins back around. He's a little closer. I love that. That's a great shot.
But this girl, she never screams. She doesn't try to get away from the sea monster. She doesn't even react. And I'm like, holy fuck, that girl needs to be red flagged and put on a watch list. That is a fucking serial killer psychopath in the making.
She's just enjoying the show. She's
Yeah. I'm like, that might be the scariest thing in this movie. Back at the house.
But it's a good shot.
It's shot nice, yes. Carol gets out of the shower. She listens to the radio, and so she's like hearing what's going on. And now we go back to the radio DJ, who's killed by a monster that slashes him across the chest.
And instantly his ribs are exposed.
Yes! It's slashed him so deep that his rib cage is exposed.
He's just like made of ribs.
Yes.
There's no flesh or muscle to him. He just got touched. And his ribs are ripped open.
And the sea monster's going, boom, boom, baby, beating on your rib cage. Boom, boom.
Ooh.
That was bad.
That was bad.
That was bad. I might edit that out.
That's okay. We'll leave it.
I don't think I got the words right.
I think you got it. But anyway, but there was a girl that's with the DJ.
That's Miss Salmon of the Salmon Festival. She was the salmon queen.
So she's got a bikini on and a tiara.
Yep.
Okay? So the monster's coming for her. Because he's got a boner and she's like, she needs it.
Yep.
So he goes chasing after her and she goes running off. And this is my favorite one of my favorite moments in the movie.
But her bikini, it does rip off her bikini top before she runs off.
Yeah, so the bikini gets ripped off. She runs off. The monster gives chase. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how it keeps up the continuity, but I'm going to keep talking about it. Because she gets pinned in the corner, and she's topless, wearing a fucking tiara. She grabs a stick, a rock.
It's a rock.
She grabs a rock, starts bashing the creature in the head enough that he's like, stumbles away. And she's like, fuck you, gets on her bike and runs away. And she runs off, titties flopping. She is a hero. She's awesome. Everyone else is panicking.
That's pretty much what I had in my notes.
She's fighting in a bikini bottom and a tiara and beats one off.
Beats one off.
Beats one enough that she can run away.
Yeah. I don't remember a bicycle, but that's exactly what happened. She ran away.
Yeah. She got on, quote unquote, got on her bike and ran away.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, sorry. Yeah, but she beat him. God, I was going to say beat him off again. She beat him off and got away.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I had.
I loved her. Yeah, I loved her.
This Miss Salmon, the Salmon Queen, yeah, she was awesome.
Miss Salmon, man, she deserves more than just a tiara.
Now, this little boy just sets one of these creatures on fire. This boy picks up like a stick on fire and just sets a creature on fire. What?
That happened right after
it's like immediately after she runs away.
Then you see this little kid pick up a flaming stick and throw it like a javelin. And it hits the creature, just kind of bumps into it. And this wet, soggy, waterlogged creature
he erupts in flames.
Bursts into flames.
So the creature,
what the fuck?
So the creature falls over the ledge of the now broken ramp and into the water. Which, by the way, there's a little girl holding onto the ramp when the flaming man in a rubber fish suit falls past her. And I mean, this is within arm's length. What the fuck were they thinking when they shot this stunt?
Stunt kids.
How were they able to get away with that? There's like a 12-year-old girl, maybe even 8.
Maybe it was a midget in a wig.
Hanging on like this piece of board, and a flaming man like nearly runs right and falls into her. And so, anyway, Bullseye Jim shoots another creature from his boat. Forgot it was how far away.
Scooting along in the harbor,
Yeah, just one shots another one. So the boy who set the creature on fire grabs Hank and gets him to help his sister, who's the girl hanging on the broken ramp.
And I gotta give Hank credit. Hank's like, let's do this, kid.
Yeah, Hank bands up. He reaches down to help her as a creature emerges from the water underneath the girl, who grabs her leg. From out of nowhere, it's shot and killed by Johnny Bullseye Eagle, Johnny Eagle Eye. And Susan then shoots a flare gun into the gas-covered water, setting it ablaze.
But mind you, everyone, while this is all happening, it's like the scream on a loop over and over and over again.
Hank gets grabbed by the creature right after he rescues the girl.
He saves the little girl, gets grabbed by the creature.
Yep. And it's
tearing his leg up.
It bites into his leg, but it's shot and killed by Johnny, thus saving Hank. So when Johnny pulls Hank up, Hank is like, at first, like, I don't even want your help. Like, I don't want to take your hand, but he does.
It was a moment.
He calls him Larry. Which, goddamn, if I had the name on this whole time, like, he calls him Larry.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's not even the actor's name.
No.
It'd make more sense if it's like, come on, Vic.
Yeah.
You know? But
like, what? So, I'm really fucking confused now.
Maybe that's why he hates Johnny Eagle so much. That motherfucker never doesn't remember my name.
Larry. My name's Hank. So the water now, which has basically 2 patches of fire on it at first, is shown along with several spots where there's like water bubbling up from underneath. And I don't know if this is supposed to kill the creatures, because all they have to do is swim underneath the fire, which we've seen done several times in movies all the time. Or just move away from the fire.
Right, like every action movie, there's always like an explosion. Get under the water.
Under the water.
Die Hard. True Lies.
The Rock. And they dropped the bomb into like the sewers.
Yeah.
And
The Rock. Yeah, I mean, there's so many movies where there's fire, there's safety under the water.
Even the fire's on water, the water's on fire. You just swim under it.
Yeah.
And so I don't get this at all. Plus, there's not that much fire either. It's not covering the whole harbor. It's just like a spot here, a spot there, and a
if it's covering the harbor, you're gonna burn
all
lot
the
of
boats,
shit
all
down.
the boats, which
You're
are the
gonna
means
destroy...
of your life bread, your well-being, would be caught on fire.
I like how you
too.
said life bread.
Life bread.
Life bread.
I don't know what I'm getting.
But no, I like that. I like it. This is your life bread. Dumbasses, don't burn it down.
So yeah, but each time they keep coming back to the water. There's the pockets of fire like move around. They're saying. I don't know if this is supposed to be spreading.
Well, they had to relight it like a couple times
probably
with the
had
shots,
to.
I imagine.
So Jim and Susan, they finally dock. They dock, and once again, Susan gets attacked from behind. This is like the 3rd or 4th time she's been attacked from behind in this movie.
Turn around once in a while,
yeah.
Susan.
Pay attention to your surroundings, woman.
You're a doctor.
Yeah.
You should know what's going on.
But once again, she's saved by Johnny Eagle Eye shooting her from afar. 1 shot, 1 kill. The creature falls into the water dead.
Eagle Eye. Johnny Eagle Eye. Huh?
Yeah. So once they reach the upper docks, Jim is told that his wife was taken home from the hospital. So he hops back on his boat, says, fuck everybody else, I'm heading off. Which, okay, whatever. It's his wife and kid. So he leaves. So one of the sea creatures gets surrounded by a mob of townsfolk.
It's like the sea creatures have all been kind of dispatched. There's one left. The townfolk surround them. None of them have guns.
They
all
beat
have
them
like
with boards and
bricks.
bricks.
Broken boards and rocks and bricks.
Yeah,
and just
beat this thing down.
Beat this thing to death.
So back at the house, a creature crashes through the window. Carol hides the baby in a room, and then she comes back out, and the creature's gone.
Why didn't she go in the room?
Yeah, just lock yourself in the room. I don't know. That is until it breaks through the front door and starts stalking after her. She's backed up through the house, and she gets cornered. But keep in mind, she has a large kitchen knife in her hand this whole time. But instead of stabbing it, she grabs a squeeze bottle and sprays it with some kind of liquid, and then she stabs it.
Yeah, so she's being backed up, and I you know what? I'm gonna give her credit. The thing's huge. It's got fucking claws. How much damage? You might be able to get 1 or 2 stabs in before it gets you.
Well, apparently these things are killed by throwing a stick at it, so I'm pretty sure a knife is gonna do.
Hey, that was by Johnny Eagle. Okay, she's
not
Johnny Eagle.
Not Johnny Eagle.
She's not Johnny Eagle. So she grabs some kitchen chemical, sprays it in the face, which renders it kind of helpless for a moment.
Chemical. It's like I don't know what it
it's some
was.
sort of chemical, and then she proceeds to stab like she's fucking Michael Myers.
She stabs the shit out of this thing.
Boom, boom, boom. Just starts stabbing the shit out of it while it's like covering. It's like, oh my eyes, oh shit! The thing doesn't run away, doesn't back away. It just shows its flippery feet. Getting covered in blood, and she's just stabbing the shit out of it. It's covered its eyes and starts to scream out like, ah! It's like the roles got reversed, and now she's the killer, and she basically gutted it.
Yeah. And she hears banging on one of the other doors that she's locked. And thinking it's another creature, she stands ready to stab whatever it is.
As soon as the door opens,
the door bursts open. She goes to stab, but it's Jim who
he
catches her wrist in mid-swing because he's fucking
Jim.
They hug, fade away to the next morning. The festival grounds are a disaster zone. There's fire and bodies everywhere. Paramedics are loading up dead bodies while other people just stand around in shock.
Sheriff Xanax is in Fucksville.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what's going on.
Jim is told by the sheriff, who calls him Hank or something. So Sheriff Hank, I think, is Xanax. I don't know. So fuck yeah, I don't know what's going on.
The sheriff is gone. He's like, he doesn't know. He's just like, he has no answers.
All he does is he tells Jim that Susan went back to her lab. So Susan is up and left. She's just, I'm out of here. So a blurry fade out and blurry
wishy-wash.
Yeah, and blurry fade in on Susan dressed in surgeon's scrubs, standing over Peggy, who's now dressed in a hospital gown, laying in a bed crying. Susan's like telling her, concentrate, hang in there, we're almost there, you're doing great. Push Peggy. Yes, that's fucking right. Peggy is giving birth to a mutant sea creature human hybrid.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
As Peggy pushes, her stomach begins to expand and grow, and just
like
in fucking Alien, her stomach is ripped open from the inside out, and out comes this elongated head and neck of her mutant sea creature human hybrid baby. Peggy screams in pain and is sprayed in blood, and she dies as we get a freeze frame of the mutant baby. Roll fucking credits.
Monster.
Monster.
In tiny letters, humanoids from the deep.
Now, in the credits, I had to watch it because of the confusion of the names. There is no character named Larry in the credits, just Hank Slattery. So I'm really fucking confused as to who is Hank and why Johnny Eagles calls him Larry.
Did you hear it wrong? Did he call him Slattery?
I don't.
Like,
I
come
swear,
on, Slattery.
Larry, Slattery. It's
possible. But just call him Hank.
He's just Hank.
Just call him Hank.
I don't know. It's
Hank, the guy with the most explosive Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, but with all the other continuity mistakes in this movie, I wouldn't be surprised if they fucked up the names or the credits or who knows what's happening. But anyway, let's go into favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill?
So, Aaron, I don't know. There was kills are a little hard for me for this week, but what about you? What's your?
So my favorite kill, I'm gonna flip the script a little bit, is Carol killing the humanoid from the deep who came in, squirts him in the eyes, he gets blinded, and then she just stabs the shit out of him. And it's like, I almost felt bad for the creature. You just look down at his little web flipper feet, and there's blood and guts falling all over. He's going, oh God! And she's just stabbing and stabbing and stabbing, and you see all this guts and shit pouring out of his chest cavity. God damn, she killed the shit out of that thing. That was my favorite kill.
All right, me, I don't know. Like, I liked Jerry's. The effect of Jerry's half face is probably the best effect, gore effect in the movie.
It was good. Even though he may have doggy paddled to help, who knows?
I would have said
very Two-Face kind of look.
It kind of was, yeah. Tommy, just because it was like you said, smash it. He said, but he doesn't actually die.
They actually say his vitals are good.
Yeah.
He's gonna make it. We forgot to mention that Tommy's gonna be okay.
Yeah, Tommy made it. So I don't really know because I didn't really. I might go with. It wasn't really gory. I'm just gonna go with the sequence of Linda. I think I'm just gonna go because it was so ridiculous. The truck explosion and like she was attacked by. I thought it was the same creature.
I think it was two.
It would make sense if it's two, but when I first I was like. Is that the same fucking
that she just ran over?
Okay, she runs over and then like it grabs onto the truck as it drives, is about to drive away, and it pulls into the bed of the truck. But
it's a tough fucking creature.
And then it just drives off and just another insane explosion. So yeah. I don't know. I wasn't really thrilled about any of them, but Jerry's was the best effect. Was the best effect. Yeah. But. You didn't really see it, so I'm gonna go with Linda's truck explosion as mine. Not too much, nothing real special about this
But it's funny because you're right. There were some like gory effects, like a guy getting his head ripped off and rib cages ripped open. And,
the head rip off wasn't bad either, but
there's not bad effects, but there's just not. It's not like significant. They happen really fast.
Real fast. There's no like spotlight on them.
Kills. That's why I think I like the creature getting stabbed so much, because it was significant, and it was like I almost felt bad for the creature.
I'm sorry. I kind of did feel bad. They're just really. They're in a way you think about. They're just kind of minding their business.
They're raping women.
Well, okay,
they're minding their business until they start raping. Marshall.
That's right. Yeah. All right. You're right there. I take that back. All right, let's go into odds and ends.
Fuck those sea creatures.
All right, let's go into odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings. IMDb, 5.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 56% on the thermometer with a 42% audience score.
It's kind of low for audience. I thought it'd be higher.
And Amazon gives it a 3.9 out of 5. For plot keywords, there were 89, and I just wrote down, I think, 5 or 6 of them. Cat scare involving cat, which kind of self-explanatory. If it's a cat scare, it would involve a cat.
When was there a cat scare?
Somebody opened up a door and a cat jumped out. That old gag. There was some. It was like in the earlier parts of the movie.
I must have missed it.
Bouncing breasts.
Yes, there's definitely bouncing breasts.
Sexploitation. Pubic hair.
There is some.
And homosexual rape by monster. Which...
Were there female creatures?
If there were female creatures raping other females, that'd be weird because
we don't see creature dong. Yeah,
but
I like how we both said dong at the same time.
But that's just a weird, like, homosexual rape by monster is a weird thing to.
Homosexual. I don't get.
I don't get that either. Yeah, but
it seemed very heterosexual to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
So. Let's move on to trivia, and there's some decent things about this movie I was able to dig up.
It's pretty awesome.
Director Barbara Peters once said that the Humanoids were originally supposed to be played by the film's stuntmen. Unfortunately, the stuntmen found the monster suits to be too goofy looking and refused to wear them, so additional actors had to be hired to perform as the monsters.
That's funny. Stuntmen who basically...
It's like, no, I'm not wearing that shit.
The best thing about stuntmen is you don't know who they are. They don't have... They mimic other people. You're not supposed to see their faces, but they had the audacity / self-respect.
I'm not wearing that shit.
No, I'm not wearing that.
So... according to Movie News Magazine, which is an Australia publication, after her discovery of the explicit additional footage, Ann Turkle, who played Dr. Susan Drake, was so outraged that she asked Hollywood's Screen Actors Guild to try and stop Monster from being released.
She didn't know?
Well, there's more on that coming up.
Like, I feel like Road Dogg from WWF right now. Or just like, oh, you didn't know?
You asked better call somebody!
Screen Actors Guild!
So as of October 2013, this was the final theatrical feature film directed by Barbara Peters.
This was directed by a woman?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, there's more on that coming up. So James Horner composed the score for this in 14 days. Joe Dante... who had at the time recently directed Piranha 1978, turned down directing this movie. The production was originally filmed under the title Beneath the Darkness in the hopes that it would infer a classier type of story and therefore attract the kind of big name cast the filmmakers wanted.
A classier type of movie. There's nothing classy about this movie.
No, but that's why we wanted bigger names. But
that's hilarious. Beneath the deep.
Beneath the darkness.
Beneath the darkness.
Yeah.
Beneath the darkness. Oh, come on.
But the picture was filmed during October, November, December of 1979. Those are some fucking cold ass months to be filming a movie that has a lot to do with water.
Right?
That's a bad decision. Why don't we film this in the summertime?
Yeah. And these, hats off, because I could tell it looked chilly. Because
honestly, why it's so goddamn gray and
this is something I forgot to mention is that scene on the beach when bikini, the bikini girl and the guy on the Daisy Duke get up and they go to walk off and go explore the water, whatever. In that scene, there's the lady who's drawing the pictures and stuff, and that's when Carol comes up and says, "Hey, come with us."
Yeah.
And Carol's decked out in like full fall gear.
You're right.
She's got like long pants,
Yeah,
a
everybody else
jacket
is, like,
on,
wearing
a hood,
blue jeans and
you know,
like flannel
and
and
jackets.
vests. And, yeah, I didn't think about that.
And then she's calling down to the girl on the beach who's in her little fucking swimsuit.
yeah, and the
And
girls
a
wearing
jacket.
bikinis.
Yeah,
Like,
and kudos. You
Yeah.
know, good on you.
So, much of the Salmon Festival carnival footage was reused in the movie's 1996 TV remake, Humanoids from the Deep, 1996.
Whoa.
Yeah. This movie's ending is a direct opposite of Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah, you
Blah,
think?
blah, blah. Yeah, so basically what happened, again, there was two directors, Barbara Peters and the Kurimoto, or the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was Roger Corman, who again wrote it or produced it. He was
It's like
a big,
his last film or
yeah.
something, yeah.
And Roger Corman's a big name in cult movie history.
Yeah.
He didn't like the final edit that Barbara Peters did because all the sex and rape and new boobies was not her. So she was like, I think, fired, and they brought in this other guy who would shoot the sexy rapey nudie scenes.
Okay.
So that's why it was all like Lava was posting, and all the actors didn't know that was going on until it was like after principal photography was over, and they went in and did all the.
Maybe that's why
stuff.
there's all these continuity errors too.
That could be too. So yeah, that's the trivia. I do not get to play the budget game, but we get to play the box office game.
Okay.
So this week, instead of budget game, we're gonna play guess.
Box office game.
Well, I'll insert the sound clip here.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
Okay. So,
Okay,
what, Aaron, is your guess for the box office? How much money do you think this movie made in 1980?
Box office. Now, was it called Monster or was it called Humanoids from the Deep?
Fuck, I don't know.
Well, that's important, Marshall.
I don't know.
It's easy.
I don't know.
Okay, calm down. All right, I'm just gonna go willy nilly. Okay, was this a nationwide release? I mean,
I'm assuming it was.
Okay, let's assume that it was a nationwide release. 1980. No big name actors.
At least not for us. I mean, they may have been names in the
Vic
70s.
Morrow, I think I've heard of before.
He's probably the biggest name, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe the soap opera guy, Johnny Eagle.
Now, is this the full run?
Full run.
$2 million.
I'm going to say that's the closest you've ever. The box office for me is $2.5 million.
Oh, hey, that's
So
not too bad.
that was right on almost
Okay.
for you. So
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yay! We'll chalk that as a win for Aaron. So let's bring on 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
So do I get anything for that win?
You'll get a hug from me later.
Sweet. Marshall gives good hugs, everybody.
And I have some salmon in the fridge.
Okay.
So from there, first of all, there were 7 pages of 5-star reviews.
Jesus squeezes.
Yeah. And so going through them, I found one from a customer.
A customer.
It is an honor to review this movie. 20 years ago, my girlfriend and I were walking in Times Square past the movie house where Humanoids was playing. She saw a poster of the monster and wanted to know if such creatures really existed. At this point, I knew I had to marry her. I would like to give this movie 8 stars, 2 for the first half, 5 for the second half, and 1 for the art on the video box. 8-star review? I don't know.
Is it 8 out of 8? Is it 8 out of 10?
First of all, if the girl says, do creatures like that really exist?
I gotta marry this.
I gotta marry this fucking idiot.
I gotta marry this dumbass.
I can trick her into anything.
I know. Honey, you've been out all night and you smell like perfume and there's lipstick on your collar. Well, I had to rescue a boat full of women and they just, said thank you. Okay.
Okay. I had to rescue for those sea creatures you think are real.
Yeah.
Next one from another A customer. As soon as I heard the ad for this masterpiece on the radio, Humanoids from the Deep, they hunt women, but not to kill, but to mate, blah, blah, blah. I knew this was a must-see cinematic event. I was not disappointed. If your taste in motion pictures run towards women chasing mutant salmon, you'll be delighted. Never before or since has a mutant salmon movie reached such heights. 5 stars.
Mutant salmon and raping women.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Not really salmon, but anyway. Yeah. From The Jerk.
Steve Martin?
Yeah, apparently. I'll never forget this. 1980, a drive-in theater in West Virginia, partying in a Chevy Impala. Nobody paying too much attention to the rubber monster movie on the screen. Then someone says, "Hey, that monster is having sex," in parentheses, "with that girl up there." Nobody said another word, and we watched the rest of the movie. 5 stars.
That's a great 5 stars. That's a great 5-star review. That's pretty awesome.
All right, from Ace Rimmer.
What? That name is classic.
Ace Rimmer.
Ace Rimmer. I love. That's a 5-star name. Ace Rimmer.
This is truly a crap movie in the first order. 5 stars.
Ace Rimmer, you got a 5-star name. I mean, that was the best. You didn't need to leave a good review. Obviously, it was a shit review, but you got a 5-star name, baby.
Woo! From Ernest Napolitano. Good acting, nice outdoor scenery, and a herd of horny monsters. What more can you ask for? 5 stars.
Yeah.
Last 2. From Carol Chitton. I've read the reviews from all 37, and a big kudos to you for all watching this movie. I was a paid extra in the movie. Senior year in high school. I can say it was a lot of fun being a mindless humanoid when the stuntmen refused to get in the suit. Spending my time next to a gas burner to keep us warm at 3:30 in the morning waiting for the next shoot. I have great memories of us extras dining with Doug, Vic, Anthony, and Barbara. The movie was campy fun and definite B-movie of desperate measure. 5 stars.
That's cool.
Yeah. Last one from Charles A. Crosby. Great chick flick. Women fantasize about it. 5 stars.
Women fantasize
About
about
being raped by giant sea creatures.
Creature in the Black Lagoon. Stop my beating heart. Woo, I just wish you'd take me.
Oh my god.
That movie's for you.
All right, wrapping up. Let's write just final thoughts on this, Aaron.
So bad it's good.
Really?
Oh my god. Right off the bat, there's an explosion from 3 different angles. A kid gets killed. We have sea creatures from the deep raping women, flopping boobies, tiara woman fighting off topless. It's so bonkers. The movie's so bonkers. I can't believe I haven't heard of this before. That's the thing that bothers me, is that I've missed out on it throughout my life until now. So bad it's good. And I mean, it's bad, but it's good. I mean, this is like the perfect definition of so bad it's good.
Wow. I was gonna say so bad it's scary. You are convincing me. I mean, we had a blast talking about this.
Yeah.
Talking about this, was much more fun than watching it for me.
Right.
But now that I'm hearing you and thinking about it, I am kind of torn because I was going in so bad scary because it starts off, you get the kid killed right away and some stuff, and then it just drags for so long.
It does
it's
drag
really
for a
like
bit.
the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes with the carnival festival scene where things are actually, entertaining, happening.
Yeah.
And everything else is so goddamn boring and it's like, ugh. And I don't know. I was just like, this sucks. But hearing you talk about your gleefulness, I almost feel bad for saying so bad it's scary.
Say what you want, man. Remember, we keep it real.
My initial, would I watch this again? Probably not. Maybe unless I'm with like a group of people and we're drinking, we turned into some kind of drinking game or something. I think I'm going to stick with my initial thoughts. So bad, scary, and except for maybe the last 20 minutes. Watching the last 20 minutes, and that's all you really need to get from the movie. So that's me. I don't know. Take it for what you. We're split. If you want to watch it, but I could pass on.
I would watch it again.
Would you?
I would watch it again. Yes, I had fun.
All right. Well, there you go. That's it from this week from Noyo, wherever, whereabouts
Noyo,
unknown.
Oregon, or Washington, or
whereabouts
who knows.
unknown. So yeah,
You know where you're from? Noyo? I don't know.
Noyo.
That doesn't quite work.
Now, check out our Facebook page. You can follow us there and communicate with us there. Also, our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. Check out our Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary. You can also check us out and follow us on Instagram.
Sorry.
At Horrible Horror Podcast. We have our YouTube page is up. We're slowly adding more to it. Right now, you can watch all the videos of the interviews and stuff we've done.
We're trying.
It's just taking it. We have lives and stuff to do.
Baby steps.
We're taking baby steps, but it is there if you want to watch the interviews from Contamination and the recent directors.
Yeah. Good stuff there.
You can download and listen to the show at horriblehorror.podme.com, and of course, you can get it for free off of iTunes as well. So download, subscribe, 5 stars.
Give us some reviews.
Give us some reviews.
Let us know if we suck, if we're better, if we need to do something different.
Yeah,
please let
feel
us
free to
know.
us any information.
Otherwise, we're just going to keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. That's going to do it for us. We'll wrap it up here. We'll be back with another on a road trip next week with another shitty horror movie.
All right.
So in the meantime, watch more horror movies and keep it